congratulations on the series.
Thank you very much.
How did you get involved in this, and did you have to go through all the auditions and all the traditional route?
Yeah, I just did I did an audition, and I don't think I did a callback. I think about a week later they told me I got the job. Simple.
And did you know that Nicole was in it at that point?
I did, yeah. I mean, that's sort of part of the reason why I auditioned, you know what I mean? She's so cool, and everyone else in it is so cool.
And you get to film with one of the best casts in one of the greatest locations.
Yeah.
How much fun was that, being part of a big murder mystery as well?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, that's another reason, I've never done anything like that. Everything I've done, I mean, I'm only 20, so I haven't done very much, but everything I've done has been quite serious and, like, haute, drama, and it was so fun to just do, like, a really fun murder whodunit. It was great. I've been looking forward to doing something like this for years.
And being part of such a big ensemble cast, how much fun is it getting the chemistry right between everybody? Because all the parts have to work, and that seems to come off really well.
Yeah. Well,
how conscious were you of that?
Thank you. I was pretty conscious of it because we were doing a lot of improvisation, and I think the fact that we were all living so close to each other and we'd hang out on the weekends and we all got to know each other really well made that a lot easier. The chemistry, I think, was easy because we were all really good friends, and we were able to sort of play like that in scenes because of that.
And we're all fascinated by the lifestyle of the rich and shameless. How much fun is it kind of poking holes in that bubble?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's in the same reason why people love this genre of making fun of rich people. That's why it's fun to be in it. It's because you want to be like these people. Some sick part of you wants to have all that money and live that lifestyle, and then you also absolutely fucking hate it because they're all disgusting and, in fact, in these extremes, murdering each other. But yeah, it's real. It's fun, but it's also sort of upsetting. It gets under your skin at a certain point. This kind of person, this kind of character.
And just lastly, question for you. This is a Netflix series which is going to be seen everywhere. How are you feeling about having your face across the world?
I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see in a few days.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again.
Thank
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey You Guys!